Hello dear students, welcome you all to the 34th lecture of macroeconomics, and today we are going to discuss saving and investment equality. Till now we have learned investment, what is saving, we have seen consumption function, then we discussed about saving function and investment function, and after that we have seen investment multiplier. So today this topic saving and investment equality we are going to discuss. So under this we will discuss the classical view, what are the traditional view on this saving and investment equality, and we will see Keynesian view also, modern view. So let's first start with classical view, and in this module we will see what is classical view, and with the help of one graph I will try to explain you, and in next lecture after this we will learn what is those loopholes that Keynesian has found from this classical theory of saving and investment equality, and how he defined saving and investment equilibrium or equality. So let's start with the classical view. So the economist who belongs to this classical or traditional belief, they believe that in an economy there is always a full employment where saving and investments are always equal. So their belief was that economy is always in equilibrium position, or full employment, sorry, not equilibrium, full employment position, and how much ever savings are happening, that is equals to the investment. So both we have learned that saving and investments are the functions of rate of interest. So classical view presented saving as well as investment both are the function of investment, that is R. So algebraically we can explain this term as this is our saving. It is a function of R, that is interest rate, as well as our investment is a function of R. So you can see that right hand side of both the equations are same. So we can say that S equals to I. Once again I am explaining. In classical view, the economists believe that there is a full employment exists in an economy where savings and investments are always equal, and these both savings and investment, they are the function of rate of return or rate of interest. So f s equals to function of R, and investment also is a function of R. So we can say that saving equals to investment. So in this period of less than full employment, if let's say full employment situation is going down, so there will be an inequality between the investment and saving according to this view. And how we can brought back to that thing into equilibrium by changing the interest rates. So in case less full employment is there, means all people are not getting the work, then what will happen, that obviously there will be a inequality. So if we will change the interest rate, we can take we can bring back the equilibrium of S equals to I. Now how to bring back that, let's learn that also. When the rate of interest rise, saving and investment savings will increase and investment will decline. So people will tend to save more when interest rates are more. Okay, so if saving is happening more, means investment will be declined. On the other hand, with the fall of interest rate, when interest rates are less, the people will be less tend towards saving, and they will more tend toward the investment. So if interest rates are increasing, saving will increase. If interest rates are coming down, the savings will come down and investments will increase. If at any time saving is less than the investment, a rise in the interest rates being a decline in investment and increase in the savings till saving equals investment. So if in case disbalance happen or saving is less than investment, people are saving less and investment they are doing more. So what is the solution for that according to classical view? The solution is to increase the interest rates so that people will again start saving and investment will be decreased, and again they can get the equilibrium position where the saving is equals to investment. So with the help of one graph, we can explain this concept more clearly. Yeah, in this figure, you see that on x-axis, we have saving and investment, and on y-axis, we have interest rates. So x-axis, saving and investment, both we are presenting together, and y-axis is your interest rate. This SS1, this SS1 is our saving curve, which moves upward to the right. With the rise in the interest rates, means if interest rates will be more, savings will be more. Okay, and II, this initial curve is this II, we are talking about this II curve. This is our initial investment curve. So you can see that this S, just give me 1 second. Yeah, so you can see that this SS1, this initial curve, this one, okay, initial curve, and this II, these two are initial curves. So they are intersecting at this point, that is point E. Okay, so at this point, our savings will be equals to investment. This is the point at full equilibrium where both savings and investments are equal. It means RE, this portion equals to, if you will plot a perpendicular, okay, so it will be equals to RH, RE equals to RH, okay. So both saving and investment will be equal at this point E. Remember this, at point E, if you will plot perpendicular like this here, so this distance and this distance will be same, okay. So let me clear it. So if you are getting confused, just remember that at point E, your investment and saving both are equal. Saving and investment, they are cutting here. So at interest rate R, your savings and investments are equal. Now suppose if investment increase means it is shifting towards right. If your investment increase from II to I1, okay. So let's suppose this investment increase from II to II1, from here to here it increase. What happened to this? From this point to this point, if it is increasing II to II1, so what will happen at this point? If it is increasing from here to here, you can see that the investment is increasing, okay. Where it is going, RH, it is increasing. If it is shifting, investment is shifting upwards or it is increasing, then investment is RH, whereas your savings are still RE, which is less than RH. Obviously you can see that RH is this much distance, okay, and your RE is only this much distance, okay. So RE is lesser than your RH, okay. So now the classical view, they consider that the equality between these two can be brought back by raising the interest rate, okay. So if the interest rates will be increased, okay, then what will happen? The interest rate will be increased to OR1. If we are increasing the interest rates, up to which limit? Where your SS1 curve intersects your II1. So at this point, at point E1, this is the point, at point E1, your investments and savings will be equal at this point, he's saying, okay. So what you did to get the equilibrium is interest rates, if investment was increasing, then you need to increase the interest rates. On the contrary, suppose the rates are falling now, okay, the investment is falling, So investment is falling. Let's say this II2 curve is showing the interest rate fall from RE. Okay. So from RE, this points that investment is coming down to this point. Okay. So if investment fall from RE to RK, this point is K, this point is K, intersection point is K. So we can say that our savings are greater than RK. Okay, our savings are greater and investment is less. So in this case, what we need to do, we need to decrease the rate of interest. Okay, at R2 we need to take the interest rate. We need to decrease the interest rates so that we can get the equality between savings and investment at point E2. Okay, so once again I am explaining, listen carefully. How we explain this? This initial condition was that this was our investment and this was our saving at the full equilibrium level. Okay, and this point E is reflecting the equilibrium point. This E point is reflecting our equilibrium. This is the point of equilibrium. So at this point, our savings were equal to our investment. Now suppose our investment is being increased now. It went up. Okay, so if investment is increased, so at this interest rate, at our interest rates, our savings are still RE, but our investment became RH. Our investment increased, but our savings are still less. So how we can bring back this thing into equilibrium? How we can bring back saving equals to equilibrium? In that case, we need to increase the interest rate up to the point where this saving line is intersecting the new investment curve. That is the point, that is a point E. This point, up to this point, we need to bring back our interest rate so that our savings can be equal to our investment. On the contrary, if our investment decreases now, our investment, if it is decreasing, so let's say now interest rate is decreasing and it became I2. So if it is decreasing I2, so at this point you can see that this much, at this point you can see that our savings are more, that will be the point up to this point. Okay, our savings are more, but our investment is less. To get the balance back, we need to decrease the interest rate so that at this point, E2, we can get back our equilibrium. Okay, so to get back the equilibrium, we need to bring back to the interest rate up to R2. We need to decrease the interest rate so that we can get the equilibrium position once again. So this is all about the classical view, where the economists believe that equilibrium can be get back by changing the rate of interest. So this is all for today's lecture. I hope you understood the concept. If still you have any query, you can ping me on WhatsApp. I will solve your query there. Thank you so much for watching.